In the heart of Texas lies Tamina, a small and historic community that feels like a step back in time. This enclave of around 400 residents holds a rich history as one of the oldest freedmen's towns in the nation. Tamina was established in 1871 by freed slaves drawn to opportunities in the lumber and railroad industry. And despite facing hardships, the people of Tamina prioritized kinship, embodying values of family and support. Today, we had the pleasure of speaking with Ms. Rita Wiltz, a community leader and philanthropist, to discover her motivations and contributions she has made to the community of Tamina.
My name is Rita Wiltz. I am the Executive Director of Children's Books on Wheels. We are a nonprofit mobile literacy organization, and we are community-based.
By providing access to free books, Rita's organization increases the level of literacy in students in her community.
You provide the water, you provide everything. And so I wanted to understand the nonprofit and exactly what it meant. It was more than just saying you have a 501c3.
Rita's parents taught her the importance of literacy and generosity. Seeing how being able to read helped her life, Rita began her outreach to give the next generation the same benefit that she had gotten.
I wanted to share what I saw my great-grandmother do, what I saw my mom do, what I saw my dad do, and that was always helping somebody else. I knew that there was something else that I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to give back more to the children.
Inspired by the generosity of those who came before her, Rita now takes notice of the needs of those around her community and takes steps to address them to improve people's lives.
And so we decided that a lot of the children that were in school, a lot of children that they needed access to free and reduced lunches. So we were able to provide state services for families to have access to CHIP, medicated food stamps, which means that that child can now listen to what the teacher is saying because their stomach's not growling. So you got their attention. Then you have the students that were in school that they needed breakfast. So signed them up for services. They were able to get free and reduced lunches. Then you had the students in school that they could see the material, but it wasn't very clear to them. So the kids needed access to glasses. So we were able to help those families in a lot of title schools to sign up for CHIP, medicated food stamp, so that they can go to the doctor, so that they can get the prophet vaccine, so that they can get the health care that they need. So now they can focus on school. So now you have a different kind of learner.
Rita's organization has opened up opportunities for young people to find an outlet for their drive to make a difference.
It's a lot more than just children's health literacy, which is important and they do value that here, but there's just so much more of a broader, a scope of practice that they cover here.
There were so many times where I'd see growing up where, let's say, kids who would act bad, they were just condemned, not realizing that maybe their background is what played into that. And me understanding that I can be there for them and speak to them, whereas I feel like most people, especially of older generations, aren't open to hearing them. So I think that's kind of what inspired me to want to volunteer.
I really wanted to work here. I really wanted to work with Miss Rita, especially after I got in contact with her. We made several connections on a personal and a professional level, just speaking the first time over the phone. And it was such a positive experience that I knew that that's where I want to go.
Tamina has an incredibly rich history. The people of Tamina appreciate the hardships that their ancestors had to go through in order to curate this united community. Rita shares this passion to do good with her husband, and they both volunteer to improve the conditions of those living in Tamina.
When you helping the needy, you are doing the purpose of your life. And I would just stay here and tell everyone that are listening or could hear what I'm saying, that if you get up every morning and don't have a desire to feel a need to help someone, then I ask you your question. What is your purpose in life?
I think that our history and our ancestors shaped my life. My great great grandmother delivering Sam Houston's mulatto child. My great great uncle John Elmo was the first Negro mail carrier in Montgomery County. My grandmother was a midwife.
While reflecting on the struggles of her mother and those who came before her, Rita exhibits openness to community modernization and improvement. However, she still has ambivalence regarding the motives of those making the changes that face them.
The water and sewer project is coming through into the community. I remember my mother having a struggle when she was younger. We had inside plumbing, so I would see it with friends of mine in the community that they had an outhouse or they had the pots. They didn't have running water. They didn't have the access to the inside of bathrooms. And what I see for the community is that it's being treated like it's a street.
Surrounded by more integrated communities, such as the Woodlands or Oak Ridge, Tamina is not getting the recognition or respect that it deserves.
There are some people that, and I'll use a term of one of the kids, don't want to see you make it. Meaning that they don't want to see you develop, they don't want to see you progress, they want to see you to stay down. When you see the families in Tamina and the students that live here, the projection is that those kids will never go to college. Well, that's not true.
There needs to be a balance between accepting change while also salvaging the remnants of a past that could otherwise be lost.
The children that live in the community are some of the sweetest, nicest kids you would ever want to meet. But they don't want the stigmatism of thinking that they don't have access to things.
Rita meaningfully combats negative stigma in her community by doing her outreach and providing her services, leaving behind a legacy of philanthropy on the ground she wants.